What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely incredible day. I know I am. And if you're having a good day and you click the like button in the next 5 seconds, then I can personally guarantee you that Donald Trump will build a wall around your house to make sure that you never have to go to school again. Anyways, guys, normally I tell stories about crazy babysitters, okay? I tell stories about people actually trying to sit on children. I tell stories about people locking me in a closet to make out with their girlfriend. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I have something different. I have something that's gonna blow your mind. You see, I too was a babysitter at one point, and being a veteran of the babysitter force, I had seen some things. Today, I'm gonna be telling you guys about this girl that I babysat who was actually the worst child that I ever interacted with. Like, to be completely honest, if the mother came home and told me, yeah, I never really had the kid, I just think Satan put a demon inside of me and I gave birth to it, I would honestly believe you, because this child that I babysit was closer to Satan than she was a child. And I know what you're thinking, Ryan, that sounds mean, and trust me, after this video, you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, she might have actually been Satan's kid. Trust me on that one. Anyways, when I was about 15, I couldn't really have a job yet. In America, you have to be 16 to work, and, you know, I'm always been a hustler, okay? I like myself some gold chains and some solid ice on my wrist. And even though I was babysitting for like $3 an hour, I was convinced that I might actually accidentally be able to get some, you know, ice on my wrist through babysitting. So I couldn't have a job yet, and for the most part, any one of my mom's friends that needed a babysitter, my mom would be like, hey, my son will babysit your kids, and, for the most part, it was pretty easy, because I get along with kids pretty well most of the time. Today is going to be a slightly different story, so I didn't really mind it. I would just go get to hang out and goof off and get paid for it, which is an instant dub. Everybody knows that. So, whatever. One day, my mom is at this house party, and she meets this girl who she doesn't know super well, who's like, oh, I can never find a good babysitter. And my mom gives her my name. She's like, well, you know, my son is a great babysitter. He'll do it for pretty cheap, da-da-da-da-da. Gives her my name, gives her my phone number, all this stuff. And, you know, I figure since my mom met her somewhere that this lady's probably trustworthy, and they're probably friends. Come to find out later, my mom didn't really know her at all and had met her for the first time at the party, which is a really weird way to, you know, get your son a job. Like, hey, strange lady, I don't know, can my son come over to your house and watch your children? But whatever, I guess my mom secretly had hope in the back of her heart forever that I would get kidnapped and sold to Somali pirates. I guess that's something I'm gonna have to work through with my therapist later. But regardless, I get this text and the mom's like, hey, can you come over on Friday and babysit my kids? And you know, I was like, yes, of course. As Blueface once said, get the bag, don't worry about what I'm doing. I will be there 100%. We can hang out, play some Uno, maybe me and you could play some Monopoly in front of the kids, get them an idea of what the real world's like, get them a job, all that good stuff. Now, in reality, I was like, yeah, I'll be there, no problem, be there at 7. So, I get the address, and, you know, I was 15 at the time, so I couldn't drive, so I have to have my dad drop me off, and that's going to be important later, because that means that I can't get home, okay? Like, unless this lady drives me home or my parents come to pick me up, I'm kind of SOL in the, in the ride home department, okay? You know, that's kind of crappy, but that's just how it works sometimes. So I walk in, and I've babysat kids plenty of times, all right? I'm basically an expert at this point. If you gave me an army of children, I could probably coach them into getting away with the D-Day invasion. That's how good I was with kids, all right? So I'm thinking this is going to be a cakewalk. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Super Nanny, where the kids are actually, like, straight out of hell. But I had never met a kid like that. I didn't think those kids really existed. I thought it was played up for TV. But as I walk in, I instantly know that this is not going to be a fun time. You see, this girl was about 9 years old, all right? And the mom basically told me that she was just being a little unruly at the moment. And whatever, man, kids have freakouts. Hell, I was 15. I still had freakouts sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta let those emotions out. No sweat, no sweat. So she says that the 9-year-old has to clean her room before she's allowed to go outside and play, right? But she didn't want to, okay? So the mom says, I'm sorry, I wanted to get it done earlier. Is it okay if I leave? I'm a little late. And you just make sure she cleans her room before she goes outside. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Thinking that it can't be too bad to make a kid clean their room. Like, obviously, she doesn't want to clean her room. But, you know, if the reward is you get to go outside and play with your friends, she'll probably clean the room. No big deal. So she leaves, and I start getting calls from the mom probably every 5 minutes asking if she's cleaned her room, And she had been in her room, but I hadn't gone to check because for some reason I was like, she's probably just cleaning her room. Like, why would I doubt that, bro? You told me the girl was cleaning her room, and now you're calling me every 5 minutes to make sure that she's doing it. So I go to open the door and see if she's cleaning the room, and the door is locked. Right? And the door is locked, and I'm like, hey, are you cleaning your room? And she just starts screaming, I don't want to clean. I hate it. I'm not going to clean. I want to go outside. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if you know this young lady, But first of all, let's use our inside voices because we are indoors and you're being a little inconsiderate, okay? You're in an apartment building, so there's neighbors around, and they don't want to hear you screaming, first of all. Number two, skis, I can't let you go outside until you clean your room, right? We were on the second floor of the apartment building. So she's like, okay, fine, I guess, fine, I'll clean my room. So I go sit on the couch, which is like by the front door, and a couple minutes later, I hear the door unlocked, and out, charging towards the door like a bull in a china shop. I swear she might have actually been wearing a football helmet for the sole purpose of trying to get out to the door quickly. Comes a running 9-year-old covered in marker, like she had colored all over herself. Her forehead is green, her arms have blue scribbles all over them. There is a marker covered child running for the door. So the door was locked, and thank God she was 9, so she's not smarter than a door lock. I don't know what 9-year-olds aren't, but apparently she was not smarter than a door lock. So she's yanking on the door trying to unlock it. It's not working, and she's just screaming and running around and just closing doors, slamming doors in my face, and it's like, I'm not cleaning. I'm not cleaning. You're not my mom. We're paying you. You have to listen to me. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening, okay? I've dealt with some weird kids, but not once have I ever dealt with a child who decides to cover their entire body with markers just to run around and scream at me that they're not going to listen to me because I'm not their mom. And during all of this, okay, the mom is still calling me. So the mom's calling me, and I'm kind of like, yeah, your daughter's going crazy. She's running around. And the mom doesn't seem fazed at all. You know, I don't know about you. If I was a parent and I was out and about, and somebody was like, hey, your kid has covered themselves in marker and is running around screaming, you're not my mom. You're not my mom. Ha ha. Die, die, die. I would be a little bit concerned, but this mom just goes, ugh, she does that sometimes. And I was like, she does this sometimes? This is normal to you? No wonder you can't get a babysitter. Your kid is known in the apartment complex as a Satan child running up and down the streets going, la, 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 if I could bathe in your intestines, I would. Like, no wonder you can't get a babysitter. I wish I would have had a warning that this kid was going to be like this. I would have never accepted the job, ever, because that seems like a terrible idea. Why would I want to be here and spend my time doing this? So the mom doesn't seem fazed and it's like, another freak out. Don't worry. This happens all the time. She'll calm down. And then asked me to put her on the phone. So I put the little girl on the phone, and she goes, I don't want to talk to you, and throws my phone across the room, and it hits the wall and shattered the back of it. This is when the iPhone 4 was out. Yes, I'm old, I know, I can see it in the comments. Haha, Scrubby, you're ancient. I get it, okay, I get it, I'm elderly. So whatever, my phone goes flying, it cracks the back of it, and then the mom asked me to call her 3 more times, so this time I have to stand in front of her to make sure she doesn't throw my phone against the wall. So I'm triggered at this point. Like, listen, little girl, you can run around, freak out, color yourself in marker, do whatever you want. To be honest with you, at the end of the day, I get to go home, and I know that my parents won't let this fly. So, you know, shattering the back of my phone is where I'm drawing the line, though. So I'm starting to get fed up, and I'm like, you're gonna clean your room. Like, I'm starting to yell at her. She's not my kid, but after you shatter my phone, I feel like I actually get to yell at you. So finally, after 3 phone calls, the mom finally convinces this kid to go into the room and start cleaning, right? Like, finally, she goes in there, but once again, she locks the door, and now she's not coming out. So the mom's calling me again to make sure that their room's clean, and I'm like, yeah, she's just not coming out. So I would try to get her out and, like, open the door, and I can pick locks on house doors pretty easily. It's not complicated. You just have to have something round and relatively long, and you can pop everything. That's what she said. But regardless, I get the door open, and she's like, God is speaking to me right now. God is speaking to me. And, you know, when you open the door on a child who just had a temper tantrum, threw a phone across the room, and is now saying God is speaking to her, covered in marker with weird symbols all over her, you tend to trust it. So she ignored me. She's apparently talking to God. I'm gonna let her have that conversation, you know. You guys go ahead. I'm not trying to get wrecked by a demon in the middle of an apartment building, so I'm just not gonna do this. So I leave, and I just go sit on the couch, and about 4 hours later, the kid comes out. She's cleaned her marker off. I don't know how she got all that marker off, because, I mean, she was covered in marker and says, my room's clean. So we go, and we go, and I check, and the room's clean, and I'm like, okay, I guess you can go outside. So right as I'm opening the door to, like, the house, right, as soon as I'm opening the door, her uncle pulls up. Her uncle pulls up, and he says, oh my goodness, the house is a mess. Look what you've done. Do you not know how to handle a child? How dare you? My sister isn't going to pay you for this. And I'm like, dog, listen. This girl is a stage 1 freak, okay? I'm sorry. You're paying me because I did not just put up with all this crap for you to not pay me. And he goes, ugh, look what you've done. We have to clean the house. You've made a giant mess. And I'm like, no, she made a giant mess. Don't blame it on me. So Uncle swoops in and pretends to save the day by being that I don't know how to handle this little kid. Not that the little kid is Satan, but that I don't know how to handle her. So the mom comes home about an hour later, and the uncle stayed, and she's like, I'm not paying you because you don't know how to take care of my child. And listen, as a 15-year-old, I might seem a little bit shy, a a little bit quaint on the internet. But when I was 15, I was more savage. So I basically tell her, if she doesn't pay me, then I'm going to put on Facebook that she is a dumb whore who will never pay babysitters and she'll never get another night out again. Like, I can promise her that. And she's like, you think you're slick. Your mom said you'd be a good babysitter, but clearly you're terrible. Yes, blame me. Blame me for your terrible child. I'm sorry that I did not expect to walk into this babysitting room and have to babysit a child covered in markers, claiming that she's talking to God and saying that I'm going to die, okay? Like, I was never prepared for this. I'm 15 years old. This kid is only 6 years younger than me. I don't have double her life experience, let alone enough to know that she's not actually a religious demon who's going to eat my soul alive, all right? What do you expect me to do? If a kid's threatening you, what would you do? It's not my fault she was running around the house breaking stuff. She broke my phone. Clearly, you don't know how to control your kid. Don't say, you don't know how to control my kid because your kid is out of control. It's not my responsibility. That's like putting me in a cave with a wild tiger and then getting mad when it attacks me. I don't know how to control a tiger. Am I supposed to? Is that something that they taught you in school when you were younger? Okay, I don't think so. So you're gonna pay me. So she gives me $20 for all this time and effort of having to deal with this kid, which, don't get me wrong, $20 is $20. But I was there for a solid 6 hours dealing with this satanic kid who was an absolute weeaboo. And after that, I was like, okay, well, can I wait here for my dad to pick me up? And she said no. Kicked me out of her apartment, and I had to go wait in the parking lot of this apartment complex for my dad to pick me up an hour later because she came home early. So, moral of the story is, don't accept babysitting gigs from people you don't know, because there is a very strong chance that you're going to get a satanic child that will try to ruin your life and make your life miserable. But on that note, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video. Today's notification shout out goes to PP Poopy Head LOL. Big shout out to you. If you want a notification shout out, turn on notifications, send me a screenshot to my Instagram at Scrubby. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.